Hello and welcome to the Bottled Imp.
Exploring the realms of fantasy.
Merry Christmas, fellow imps. My name is Ken Boyter and welcome to our Christmas special. We hope you're all having a lovely time this Christmas Day. Yes, it's Christmas Day. Hurrah! Maybe you're enjoying your turkey or your nut roast. Maybe you've stuffed yourself full of chocolates. Or maybe you're enjoying a nice cup of tea with chocky biscuits. Whatever you're doing, surely the best bit of the day is when you open those lovely Christmas presents. Yes, the big fat jolly man we know as Father Christmas, who breaks into your home, drinks some of your booze, eats some of your food. Maybe he's not all he appears to be. Now there seems to be many names for Father Christmas over the years. St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, Sinterklaas, Pierre Noel, and even Udin. But are they really one and the same man? And just who is this man behind the myth? And his ever more sinister side? Now the earliest known personification of Christmas in England is in the 15th century. Noel, or Sir Christmas, or even My Lord Christmas, appears in a carol first written by Rector Richard Smart. And in this carol, he is neither referred to as old or as father. And he's not interested in handing out presents to small children. No, he is more interested in making good cheer and being right merry. Skip forward 400 years past the fact that in England Christmas was banned for 13 years. Yes, I know. From 1647 to 1660 Christmas was banned. Well, let's just skip all over that because in 1840 Father Christmas began to merge with the pre-modern gift-giving St. Nicholas, or Sinterklaas as the Dutch call him. St. Nicholas was a 4th century Greek Christian bishop of Myra, which is now in Turkey. Nicholas was famed for his generous gifts to the poor and also bringing worthy people back from the dead. Yeah, back from the dead, I know. His most famous good deed was actually helping a poor man who had 3 daughters, and he couldn't afford their dowries, so he feared for their future. Now, Nicholas heard about his plight, so in secrecy, in the cover of night, he went to their house and he threw 3 gold purses through their window. Now, some say that he actually threw them down the chimney and that one landed in a drying stocking that was over the mantelpiece. Now, after St. Nicholas died, his bones were buried in a tomb, and in 1087, the Italians decided that they would nick them. And they did. And they also claim that each year the bones weep a watery liquid that smells rather a lot like rosewater. And, this is the best part, it's called manna. Now the faithful followers believe that this is very powerful miracle-giving liquid. Anywho, in Norse mythology, Udin is a revered god. And he gets up to all sorts of cool stuff like healing, death, royalty, sorcery, fighting, and of course poetry. He has one eye, he has a long beard, and he wears a blue, black, grey and green cloak. And he wears a broad hat and wields a spear called Gungnir. Sound familiar? But Udin's most impressive Santa impression is by leading the ghostly procession of the dead in the winter sky, whilst riding his 8-foot-high flying horse, Splinier. But what of Santa Claus himself? Well, it's from literature that he emerges. In 1809, Washington Irving wrote his History of New York, and he used the Americanized version of the Dutch name Sinterklaas, which in itself is a corrupted version of St. Nicholas. Santa Claus, he lost his bishop apparel, and he was first pictured as a pot-bellied sailor with a pipe wearing a green winter coat. I know, a Dutch sailor. But the most Santa Claus of Santa fiction is surely the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clarke Moore, otherwise known as The Night Before Christmas. In this poem, Santa rides a sleigh that lands on the rooftops. He enters through the chimney, and he has a sack full of toys for the children. He also names all of his reindeers, and he is described as chubby, plump, and a right jolly elf. So, this Father Christmas, this Santa Claus, he's starting to become clear, isn't he? Or is he? Surely, where there is good, evil resides. What of yin and yang, sun and moon, Bilbo and Smaug? Well, the good children have Santa Claus, but who exactly do the bad children have? Krampus. Krampus, according to the Austro-Bavarian folklore, is a goat-horned anthropomorphic creature who is usually hairy. He has cloven hooves. He has a long pointy tongue, and he carries birch sticks for a weapon. Now, this wicked devil-like creature is said to seek out children roaming the streets, all the children that have been bad during the year. Some say he walks alone, but others say he walks alongside none other than Santa Claus himself. Oh yes. Now, once Krampus finds these naughty children, he simply picks them up and puts them in a basket that he has on his back. And then he takes them to the underworld, and he leaves all the good children for Santa to give presents to. So what does this all mean? Well, ultimately it means Christmas is a time of judgment, and obviously all the religious stuff and the carol singing and the eating of the Christmas meal, obviously, and sharing it with your friends and family, and goodwill to everybody, really. But apart from all that, it is a time of judgment. You have to decide how you're going to behave during the year. Now, will you join the forces of good, or will you join the forces of bad? And that, fellow imps, is the ultimate fantasy theme. Good versus evil. Corruption versus purity. Light versus dark. Which leaves only one question. Were you visited by Santa or by Krampus? We hope you all have a lovely, lovely Christmas. But be warned, with every myth, every legend and every folk tale, there is always just a small grain of truth to them. Merry Krampus.